Hello, my name is Lena Sterling, and I'm the founder and CEO of Dafero, where we make incredible plant-based spreads made for everyone in the family. I started Dafero because 2 years ago I found myself on my kitchen floor. I had fainted from stomach pain for the second time in 1 year. And I'm not even gluten or lactose intolerant, but I am to all the artificial ingredients added to our everyday foods. Tired of what felt like a year of eating kale for breakfast, which personally I didn't enjoy, my breakfast now look like this after starting Dafero. Our plant-based spreads are incredibly versatile, perfect for all breakfast foods, as well as for a fun wine and cheese night. Here you see pictures that our clients have sent to us. We're competing in a $50 billion market projected to increase to $55 billion in just 1 year. Our products are naturally gluten-free, no sugar added, and plant-based. So we're at the intersection of some of the fastest growing categories in the food sector. Unpacking the plant-based section, it's the fastest growing market with over 30% year-on-year growth and incredible explosion of new SKUs and categories. In terms of our sales, throughout 2020, we launched the 2 online marketplaces and completed a retail trial at a local store in the Washington, D.C. area, where we achieved the highest sales velocity in our category for that store. We just completed a month ago an online trade show with national retailers, including GNC, Vitacost, and Safeway Southwest. And so we're projected to increase with that same sales velocity at the DC stores to 250 retail stores throughout 2021 and more than doubling that throughout 2022. In terms of margins, thanks to our direct sourcing as well as efficiencies saved throughout production, we're able to have incredibly strong margins ranging from 25 to 80% depending on the sales channel. And in production, we're able to actually decrease our COGS by 23% with just a $15,000 investment in new equipment. In terms of business model, we're pushing for half of our sales to remain throughout the online channel, both on our website directly as well as through third-party retailers such as Walmart and Amazon.com. And pushing through 40% retail, as well as a 10% food service, specifically focusing on cafes that have asked us to stock our foods, our date spreads for their breakfast food pairings, as well as hospitals and elderly care facilities, which have a very hard time finding the appropriate, no chemical added, no sugar added alternatives for the diabetic populations that they are serving. In terms of target customers, we find ourselves at the intersection of several different needs. On the one hand, the need for low glycemic options, which is equivalent to over 100 million people throughout the United States. Secondly, millennials on a low sugar diet, which a third of them claim they follow or aim to follow. Then the fastest growing market, as I mentioned, which is the plant-based customers of all ages. And because we are flavor forward, in fact, you see in our tagline, made for everyone, we do blind tastings of every single product prior to launch to ensure that a regular consumer with no dietary, even those with no dietary restraints enjoy the flavor. And so we always guarantee that our products taste as good or better than the traditional chemical and sugar-filled alternatives out there. Diving into our core customer, it's the millennial mom under 38 and under who's living in mid to large size cities, although through Amazon we are able to reach national distribution. And the critical thing about the younger age is that it's at a stage in their lives when children are still impressionable and parents can still instill in them good eating habits that will then turn them into long-term customers. In addition, children have a natural biological predisposition towards sweet foods, yet parents feel constantly guilty about giving them a Twinkie or a spoonful of Nutella. And so here we're offering an alternative where kids won't be fussy, to eat the healthy spread alternative because it's naturally sweet. It's not like forcing them to eat a Brussels sprout, which most parents do not enjoy that process. And at the same time, their parents feel good about giving them a healthy, great for them alternative. Dafero is currently run by a brother-sister team. Myself, Lina, the CEO, I have more than 7 years of experience in international trade and development. I finished my master's degree in international business diplomacy at Georgetown University and have experience working at the World Bank and United Nations, as well as international trade missions from Europe to North America, and have won several international awards, including the G20 Young Global Changers. And I focus specifically on operations, supply chain, and marketing. Taylor, on the other hand, is our head of growth. He's focused on our digital as well as retail expansion. Taylor has extensive experience in launching products on Amazon. Prior to Dafero, he worked at AT&T B2B tech sales, where he reached over 200% of his monthly sales quotas, and has experience in leading international startups, both in Europe as well as in North America. In terms of success to date, pun intended, we've sold over 15,000 jars as we completed our final recipe formulation, rebranding, and test trial through online and digital platforms. We wanted to ensure that the product was retail ready and scalable prior to doing a high scale launch, which we are now currently in the phase of doing. And just yesterday, we launched on Amazon, and as you see in the screenshot here, have almost sold out of the 102 pack units that we've sent them. In terms of press, Dafero has been featured on over 23 different publications, including Forbes, and this year was awarded one of the top 18 food and beverage makers to watch out for in Washington, D.C. Through that feature, we were actually contacted by the Amazon sales team directly to start selling on their platform. Now, how are we actually different compared to what's out there? First of all, we have crafted a specific and proprietary production process that allows us to double the fruit and avoid the watered out versions that our competitors have to do due to production constraints. Second of all, thanks to our direct sourcing, we're able to achieve better pricing on our prime ingredients and supplies, and are the only ones to include superfoods such as organic cacao powder and directly farm-sourced cinnamon, as opposed to artificial ingredients currently being used. In addition to that, we're working with a registered nutritionist to ensure that there's a low glycemic load in every serving, and we are priced at the middle market. Thanks to our production efficiencies and direct sourcing, we're able to maintain the same margin or higher while being $2 to $5 lower cost than our competitors. And we want to ensure that every family eats better. So that's why we follow this process. We're also different because our branding completely stands out on the shelf. You see, the spreads category is a pretty sleepy segment, and our bright, colorful packaging really attracts attention, as well as on retail, on digital platforms. In addition to that, we've followed an innovative approach when working with retailers. As we all know, physical retail expansion can be very expensive, but thanks to our innovative way of creating recipe cards, pairing our date spreads with products currently in stores, this is a page that we've done for GNC, we're able to approach buyers more favorably, in some cases avoid costly practices such as free fill, or having to place for retail placement, thanks to being more alternative in our marketing approach. In terms of social impact, Dafero started off by employing refugee women in the DMV area to make the date spreads. From there, we created an apprenticeship and life skills program to help the women. And since then, we've digitized this program by providing several dozen courses in dozens almost of languages right now, which are all provided free of charge and in a very easy to use, mobile friendly, highly scalable, extremely low cost way. So we use now the part of the sales from the date spreads to fund these digitized programs. And we've even created the world's first introduction to COVID and its mental health effects course online with an aim at supporting vulnerable families and to help them fight against the confusion and fake news that were circulating specifically in the springtime. In terms of our current needs, we need to purchase a form fill machine, as you see here, so we can start to make these single serve and multi-pack serve pouches, which will help us not only break through food service for the larger scale, but also be able to provide COVID-proof contactless sampling now that we're unable to provide in-person sampling. So we would attach this single serve packet to a postcard and mail it out to potential new customers, including a recipe, as well as helping drive traffic to new retail placements by mailing that out within a 5-mile radius. And we're about to commission these gift boxes, which help to upsell and bundle products. In terms of future vision, we would love to build out our own factory where we include our own apprenticeship skills as well as be able to add flavor diversity and quickly expand into new products without having to wait through the third-party co-packer experience. So again, my name is Lina Zdruli and we're Dafero. We're powered by plants, sweetened by nature, and made for everyone. Thank you very much.